Okay, I think you had a situation you wanted to address.
Well, yeah, I mean, so, you know, I had got shot some years back, like 6 years back or 7 years back or something. I don't remember. But, um, you know, there was a discrepancy about what happened with that. You know, did my nephew go to jail? Well, first, I just want to walk you through what happened. So I was filming Love and Hip Hop, and I had went to Boston because my mom had passed. There was some issues over some monies and everything that my sister, my nephew, just in-house shit. You know what I'm saying? In-house, family shit. And I went up there and there was tension, okay? So I just went, I said, look, I'm gonna go to the wake by myself, and I'm not even gonna go to the funeral because I don't even want this foolishness around my mother's situation because, you know, my mother was staying with them in Boston. You know, they was the one taking care of her, or so-called take care of her. Now, this is my older sister. So I ended up going to the wake by myself early, with nobody there, have spent time with my mother. Then I was gonna get back on a flight. Stevie had flew down and tried to surprise me. Stevie J had surprised me and ended up in Plymouth where the church was holding the service for my mother, okay? And where she was gonna be buried. That's about a good 45 minutes away from Boston. It's in Cape Cod, you know. I don't know if you're familiar, but that's like towards the water and everything. So, you know, my mother's Cape Verdean, so a lot of Cape Verdeans come from the Cape Cod area of Boston, you know, different Plymouth, Carver, New Bedford, you know, Falmouth, different places. But long story short, I was actually going to pick Stevie up to get, you know, because he didn't know where he was. He just got off the airport and then took a Uber or a cab straight to the funeral site way out there, and he was going to surprise me. So I said, look, I'm not going to that, but I'm going to come pick you up. And I was explaining it to her. I said, I'll tell you why when I get there. So I was coming to pick him up, and then he was going to be at some cafe not too far from the church. And then when I was going, I noticed that there was a funeral procession. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, you know, first thing came to my mind, like, could this be my mother's funeral procession? I was like, well, this is a hell of a coincidence. And, you know, this is what ended up happening. And then I'm gonna go back. When he shot me, right, okay? When he shot me, you know, he called police immediately because he had licenses he never even had a felony. He wasn't, you know, my nephew wasn't the street guy. You know, he had 3 guns and he was unloading them. You know what I'm saying? I got hit 3 times inside the car. So I'm trying to so when I'm driving on the highway, I fishtail and I'm coming against the traffic. You know what I'm saying? And then I finally pulled over, jumped out to where the hearse was of my mother's car. My mother's hearse. There was 2 hearses. I'm assuming one of them had the coffin. So I just remember running towards the hearse, and I just remember a finger locking the door. So he was still shooting, and I'm leaking the shit, you know what I'm saying? I just knew I had to get hit my chest, so I knew I still had my strength to either get away or do whatever I had to do. So when he called police, he called and said that I had a gun. He said that I just shot a man, he had a gun, he brandished a weapon, he had a gun, and so I don't know what I was thinking, but I ran to the hearse and I just seen because it had the old school locks, a finger. Then I ran, the cars were in line, so it was all my family. So 2 of my Auntie Geneva's daughters was there, my cousins, and I just remember jumping in the back and I kept saying, look, you gotta go over the medium. This is a 2-lane highway, but it's a main highway. It's one of the main, Route 3, it's the only thousands and thousands of cars, hundreds of thousands of cars, you know. So broad daylight, Sunday afternoon, so I said, look, you gotta drive across the medium to go to the other side because the exits on that highway are far apart. So I'm leaking blood, getting a little dizzy. I jump in the back, I'm bleeding out, they're screaming. They finally, first, they didn't know what to do. You know, God bless them. They were scared. So they finally went over and they try to drive me, and we come to the exit. The police come, all these cars, before ambulance, pull me out the car. Now it's raining a little bit. They strip me butt naked, dick out, butt naked, and because they said I had a gun. Now in Boston, I've been a wanted guy a long time. They've been wanting me for a while there. So this was their chance, they figured. So then when the fire department came, it wasn't an ambulance, it was the red fire kind of like rescue truck. They put me in there. They're still doing ballistic tests on my fingers. Like they rubbed that thing to see if you had a gun. So I didn't have no gun. And so now, I ended up going to the hospital, whatever. I remember Mona and them still wanted to film. So I said, yeah, I had hookups in Boston, my town. I had hooked up with the hospital, Quincy Hospital. They came and filmed. So we filming it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's part of my reality, so we filming it. Everybody and their mama knows that my nephew shot me because, again, he called and said he shot me, all right? Time goes by. I ended up going to Boston one time because I had a walkthrough or something, and they said that they want me to come in and testify against them. And I said, well, I'm not doing that. They said, well, if you don't, we're going to give you 90 days for contempt of court, 6 months, 90 days. I said, for what? I said, okay, well, no problem. So I went to the grand jury. I said, yeah, I was driving and gunshots. I got shot. I don't know who shot me. It was crazy. I just remembered running. Gunshots, and I was trying to, of course I didn't see nobody. That was it. They brought me in court with him there, okay? He's sitting in court. Do you see anybody that shot you? No, not at all. Went home. Now, he ended up, from my understanding, getting 18 months because there was another 3 or 4 people. These are different people. I don't even know who they was because the cars there to stop traffic who watched him shooting. So, of course, he got witnesses. Nobody that had anything to do with me. These are white people that are saying that. So his bullets hit a couple of cars on the way or whatever. So he ended up doing 18 months. You know what I'm saying? But this is probably the first case now that you could think of that somebody shoots somebody, they say that they shot him, but the person they shot says, no, he didn't shoot me. And that's what happened. So now I think my nephew's running around with fake paperwork or fake, because I couldn't get it was a while I couldn't get the paperwork. I finally got in touch with the court stenographer. She retired, and I had to pay $1 per page. I get the paperwork this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud. I get the paperwork where he called 911, and then I get the paperwork saying that, no, I don't know who shot me, and then I'm going to put that out there. Because, you got a few of these guys out there, trying to get content, But I needed this paperwork anyways. It was hard to get, but I finally got it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy about that.
All right. Well, shit, man. How long did it take you to recover after being shot?
It was nothing. I still got the bullets in me and shit. It didn't take too long. It wasn't too long. It took me a while to get my strength back, because I didn't have no strength in my arm. I lost all motion, but I ended up, going to rehabilitation, man. That's when I hit the gym hard. Started hitting the gym, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm stronger than I was ever. And that was my nephew, you understand what I'm saying? That was my first nephew. Everything, what I'm saying, when I had the sauce, everything I give to him, everything, everything. First, helping try to get thousands of dollars. He wanted to be a DJ. I mean, just, he was my first nephew. I had 2 older sisters that were on my mother's side, not on my father's side. We had the same mothers. But, some family shit happened, and that's what happened, So crazy story, but when I tell my story, that's gonna be a major part of it, you know what I'm saying? Because that was a crazy day. I had to do some MacGyver shit, you know what I'm saying? But I've been through shootouts. That wasn't the first time I've been shot, and I've been through a whole bunch of shit. So to me, it was crazy if you look on the outside looking in, and especially the circumstances. But, when you in the street, man, I've been going through that shit with police, with different blocks all my life.
All right, for sure, man. Well,
but Zeno don't snitch, baby. 57 years on this earth. Yeah, fuck that. No statements, none. No statements on nobody's shit.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.